This was a Chak De India moment, if you want to call it in more ways than one. This photo, which came 4 days ago, was testament to how important this victory was for India women's hockey. Remember, the Junior Asia Cup has been held for 30 years. Now, 8 years later, ever since the last edition, the Asia Cup resumed and India, for the first time ever, managed to win the Junior Asia Cup, the Women's Junior Asia Cup that was held in Japan. They beat traditional heavyweights like China, Japan and South Korea. And this is the reason why a true Chak De India moment was indeed observed. There was a lot of congratulatory messages that came in from all the states. Remember, 1992 onwards, the Women's Junior Asia Cup has been held. India have consistently made it to the semi-finals. They made it to the final in 2012, but they had never won it. However, all that changed on June 11th, 2023, when India won the Junior Asia Cup. Now, why is this tournament so important for India women's hockey? Because remember, the senior team are currently undergoing a transitionary phase. And this Junior Asia Cup tournament will ensure that the supply talent, the supply pool that is needed for the upcoming talents, that is at least established. Defenders, attackers, you name it, the India junior women's hockey team did produce all of that. And to think they had actually dominated the entire tournament, and that too with so many positives, is a great sign indeed heading into the next cycle, if you look at it, in women's hockey. So, to give you a brief backdrop, what happened? India won the Junior Asia Cup for the first time, beating South Korea 2-1 in the final. You will also remember that it was during the Junior Asia Cup where India scored 22-0 against one of the Central Asian nations. And remember, 22-0, you've not seen that kind of a scoreline ever since Dhyan Chand's exploits in 1932, when they defeated the US 24-1. Had lost in final in 2012 to China. That was a very heartbreaking loss. But very important win for women's hockey for two simple reasons. New talent was evident when it came out. And the India senior team have been reliant on only two individuals, if you look at it. Vandana Kataria and Gurjeet Kaur. You would remember right from the Olympics onwards, these two players have been doing it all for the India senior team. Vandana Kataria in particular was brilliant in Tokyo. Gurjeet Kaur scored the goal that ensured India dumped Australia out in the Tokyo Olympics. So, ever since that period, with Rani Rampal also not been there on a consistent basis, you needed couple of players to step up. And this is where the Junior Women's Asia Cup made a brilliant statement, and they gave so many players. Look at the number of names that I am giving you in this. Jyoti Chhatri, Deepika, Mumtaz Khan, Sunelita Topo, Vaishnavi Phalke, Neelam and Anu. All of them, the top section that I said, Jyoti, Deepika, Mumtaz, Sunelita and Vaishnavi, all of them combined to score 21 goals in the tournament. So, there was sustained attack. You had a new lead attacker and a forward player in Anu, 9 goals. And remember, Anu's story is very inspiring because her family did not have the funds. She hails from Haryana, plays for the railways, and she got her training at Sirsa. Now, after all this, she needed to improve her fitness, and that is what she did at Sirsa. Running, you mean stamina, if you look at it, every single point was taken care of, and that's why she became the leading goal scorer with 9. Neelam had 8 goals. And then 21 goals from this entire tree, if you look at it, the quartet or the quintuplet that you may say, Jyoti, Deepika, Mumtaz, Sunelita and Vaishnavi. So, from different zones and different regions, each with their own style of attack and defense, they came forward and ensured India were on top for majority of this tournament. Now, what was the major takeaways from this? Great discipline, sustained aggression, as you saw in the game that where they scored 22 goals. But this is the best stat of all in the Junior Asia Cup. Only 4 goals conceded. Only 4. That too 3 came against South Korea in the match that they drew, and in the final where they conceded 1 more. The other goal that they conceded was against Malaysia. So 4 goals conceded but 37 goals scored. That meant that India's defense was bankable enough, and if you look at Yannick Schupman's mantra, it also is in line with Craig Fulton's mantra. Best defense can lead to sustained prolonged attack, and that's what the India junior team did. This win is also kind of redemption for the India women's hockey team, because also for the coach Yannick Schupman, because remember when she took over, India were almost in a transition period at that time also. Results were not coming their way, but under Schupman they are slowly but surely making progress. Yes, you secured the bronze medal in the Commonwealth Games. The way how they got eliminated against Australia was really controversial because of the buzzer issues, because of the hooter and all those things. They won the FIH Nations Cup in Spain. That is very important, because it would have then gotten them promotion into the elite division of the FIH Pro League. So winning the Nations Cup was equally important. First Junior Asia Cup for India after 31 years of participation, 1992 onwards. And if you look at it in the World Cup, 2022, the FIH Women's World Cup was held. India managed to come into the crossovers, something that they had not done for a very long period of time. However, they lost in that crossover to Spain, 1-0. And that is the reason why the Nations Cup victory was so important for India women's hockey. But despite the win, there are challenges. Do you know the schedule of what is going to happen to the India women's team after this? You don't. Because there is no domestic league in hockey for the women's league. There is no domestic league at all. You had the Hockey India League, which was there, which occupied a certain section of the calendar. But unfortunately now, because there was either lack of funds or lack of interest, that tournament was scrapped a long time back. So the Hockey India League is not there, and this not so for the men, it has impacted the women, because now how do you play and sustain the skills that can be at that point in time? Long periods of inactivity. Now after this, when will the women play? That is the major worry that's there. All the gains that they had in Japan can be easily undone if you do not play for a long period of time. And so the hope is at this point that there can be more tournaments organized for the women's hockey team, because even they are also now on an upward climb. Remember, 2022 Commonwealth Games bronze, FIH Nations League, then this Junior Asia Cup success, everything is been put in place for a better performance in the coming years. Remember, the Indian team needs these talents to ensure that they can step up, because you are almost about a year away now from the Paris Olympics. So 2024, if you have to plan it now, take away the positives from what has happened in the Junior Asia Cup, because if they do not capitalize on this, India will be found wanting in Paris 2024. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live, and don't forget, we are on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Thank you.